Holy crap, we did it.
We did it. We're here, everyone. We made it. Welcome back.
Oh, it's a well-oiled machine we got running over here. This is awesome.
That's what makes it fun about being live.
Well, welcome back, stranger.
Welcome. How have you been hanging?
Doing all right, hanging in there. How about you?
Same. Can't believe we're already end of January 2022.
We're only on the 24th. It's not the end yet. We're getting there, but we're not there yet. All in due time.
We're getting there. I know. It's crazy.
I know. So you haven't been on for a while. What you been up to?
We've been busy. We have been wrapping up a few videos with the Shout Out Burns Engineering team. We love working with them. Hello, everyone, if you're watching.
It's being recorded.
We're being recorded too. And we've been focusing a lot on our doc projects and our narrative projects. So, that's kind of our focus for this year. So I'm excited to see what we can make happen there.
That's awesome.
How about you?
Oh, just struggling to get through like everybody else is, I think. I mean, it's a crazy real estate market. Trying to find people who want to sell is not easy, and trying to find properties to sell is proving just as hard, if not harder. So, it's funny. I've been talking to a lot of agents lately, and we're all kind of in the same boat where we're just kind of treading water, unfortunately, where we're trying to build, But it'll happen when it happens. That's all you can do. I mean, can't control it.
Kind of a up and wait process.
Yeah, and that's the hard part, especially right now. But it's all good. Things will happen when they're meant to happen. So it's getting there. Yeah. But today will be an exciting day because we were supposed to do this on Friday, but we had some technical issues. So we're back. Hopefully people are tuning in. If not, they can watch it again another time. Whatever. But we have a really cool guest today. I know everybody's kind of excited to hear what he has to say. So I will let you do the intros.
Okay. We're going to bring on Chad the Man. He is our new CEO of the LAX Coastal Chamber. We're so excited to have him. Excited to hear what he has to say. Looking forward. Come on out, Chad.
Thanks, guys.
Mr. President.
Excited to be here with you guys. Happy Monday.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes.
So happy Monday should have been Friday, right?
It is weird doing this on a Monday as opposed to a Friday. I feel like it kind of shifts our mood,
It's a little weird. But it's okay. It's all good.
Every day can be like Friday.
True. Oh. Whatever the president wants, we just.
So now that you're the president, when you walk into a room, do you want people to stand, to bow? Like what's the new protocol?
Yeah.
I just don't want them to turn and run away, No. No, honestly, still the same guy, just a little bit slightly different role. I mean, for those that do know me, know I'm a pretty approachable and fun guy to be around.
And modest, which is good.
And obviously huge shoes to fill, and coming in after Christina. Christina did an amazing job for 17 years here, and she's been a dear friend and mentor and teacher along the way my entire career. And we always talked about wanting to work together, and we got that chance, and we did it for 3.5 years. And she's built a great team here with Kelly and Judith, and we're going to continue the great work and keep it on. So it's an exciting time. Start a new chapter of our chamber, and I think you guys are going to see a lot of really cool things coming down the road the next few months, just with our strategic plan. And I'm excited. It's day 5 on the job, so I haven't figured it all out yet. And I probably won't for some time. So,
but you haven't blown anything up yet either. So that's a good 5 days.
The office is still intact. My keys still work, and I haven't gotten any terrible phone calls yet. So,
have you
definitely on the up and up?
Have you thought about maybe wearing a top hat or a monocle and just kind of doing something like that to acknowledge the presidency?
Maybe do a little Seinfeld as interim. Hello.
I think you should. I think we're going to need to get some sort of a thing underway here to really do an introduction when you walk into a room. Somebody clears their throat, and you walk in, you're like, "Hi, hello, good day, people."
We need at least the trumpet to go off every time you enter a room. But really, though, what is I don't know if presidents of chambers have themes for their presidency. But what would your theme be? What do what do you see for your presidency?
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's an exciting time. I think first and foremost, we need to hire a new team member. We have a vacant seat on the bus, and we're looking for a great programs and event manager to join our team. So if you or anyone else out there know of somebody that might fit the mold there, someone that can really join our team and help us build our programs and events and execute them well. We're looking for an additional person to join the great dynamic team here. So that's one of the first steps. We also have some exciting news in that we just approved on Thursday our strategic plan, which has been in the works for about 6 or 7 months, under the leadership of Joe Coleman, who's our chair-elect, and a great group of board members and some community members have played a role in that. And we've put together some great things. Our new mission, vision, values, which you will see. So the chamber now has 5 core values that we are going to kind of guide everything that we do. So trust and respect, welcoming, collaborative, continuous learning, and got to look at my cheat sheet. Welcoming.
You said
so those
welcoming.
I did?
Yeah.
So
apparently welcoming is very important.
It's 2 values because of how important it is.
Did I say continuous learning, supportive?
We just read them.
Yeah.
The welcoming, trust and respect, continuous learning, supportive, and continuous learning. I think they're great.
So they come out. I mean, I think we got the gist that it's welcoming.
Supportive,
Yes.
Welcoming, very welcoming.
If you haven't figured it out, I'm a little nervous right now.
What are you so nervous? I mean, because we're threatening? Like, what's
No.
No,
How scary do we look today?
no.
It's Monday.
But and in all seriousness, it's really going to be I think one of our strategic advantages will be our core values, and everything that we do will be guided by that. We are also going to be diving deeper in diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is really exciting stuff. I also think that's going to be a big difference maker. So we've already been doing some work in that space, whether it be the small business certification program, but really amplifying our DEI message and making sure we are as inclusive as we absolutely can be as an organization. So it's going to be great.
And of course, you're taking us over just as we have the never-ending pandemic. So how is this impacting it? Because it seems like, I know you probably want to go full speed ahead with doing different things, but then this whole thing keeps rearing its ugly head. So how are you going to juggle this?
Yeah, we've taken a little bit of a pause here in January with in-person events. With the variant kind of running rampant, we figured that was the best course of action. So, we've been very successful in pivoting to virtual platforms when we needed to. We'd always planned on a virtual networking at night event for this month. So we have 5 chambers coming together actually on Thursday night. I think from our chamber alone, we have 35 people coming already. But the Venice Chamber, Redondo Beach Chamber, Manhattan Beach Chamber, and El Segundo Chambers are going to be joining us for a virtual networking at night. So we've pivoted nicely. Obviously, we're still requiring proof of vaccination for in-person events, but we do have some in-person events on our calendar for February.
That's awesome. It's an interesting time to be trying to take over, and you want to put your own mark on things, but keep things going. So I can't imagine just the bandwidth that it takes just to try to figure out how do you do all this. And obviously you're not going to do it in the first 5 days, but just to try to juggle all that, that's a lot to try to take on.
I mean, the bottom line, it's about providing value. How are we providing value to our members? And when they come to our events, whether it's virtual or in person, do they connect with someone and make a meaningful relationship? Do we know who they are and know what makes them tick? And then, again, it goes back to those core values. Do they feel welcomed? Do they feel supported? Do they know that they care about my business and the people that I'm employing? And I think, when you come to LAX Coastal, I think you get all of those things. So we're going to continue to live by those mantras and making sure that we are supporting all of our members. So it is still a tough time for a lot of businesses, and we want to do whatever we can to help them through.
I was gonna say too, is there anything that you're looking forward to? I know it has its challenges, right? Going virtual and kind of finding that good balance, but is there anything that you're like, I'm so excited to tackle this?
Payroll.
Yeah, no, I think obviously where we're positioned, I think one of the chamber's biggest strategic advantages is where we're located. So if you think about it, I kind of see it as kind of like that perfect triangle between kind of the development and tech space and Playa Vista and Marina del Rey, what's happening in Inglewood with the SoFi Stadium, and then LAX. We have this perfect triangular, of 3 points that I think are just going to yield so much economic activity on our side of town, especially the next 5 to 7 years. So we really need to leverage that. We are the front door of the world in so many ways. So what role does the chamber play with that, and how do we leverage that to support our small business communities? So whether that's collaborating and partnering with the airport or the Los Angeles Sports Entertainment Commission with events happening at SoFi Stadium, there's just so much opportunity. And if we can especially use these big opportunities to help our small business community, I think it's a win-win across the board.
So where do you envision the chamber doing? Like how do you envision the chamber going forward?
Yeah, I think strategic relationships are going to be key. And I'm not just saying we say that we're partners, but really try and find ways to enter into some formal relationships. The chamber has a unique position that it can really be the connector of small to large business. So our major partners that do work in and around the airport community, a lot of our big major corporations, they have inclusivity requirements for their procurement and for their construction. And if we can connect them back, our small businesses that want to do business with some of these larger corporations, again, a win-win across the board. So I think if we can continue to stretch that muscle and leverage that, I feel like we are a valued partner even more in the local community. The hotels on Century Boulevard, another great thing. Finding ways to connect in our small and local business to helping the hotels could be a huge win as they ramp up for some of these major events as well.
There's so much going on in LA and in this area. I can only imagine, what the next few months even is going to look like. And I'm really excited because I do feel like the chamber has positioned itself in the community where, at least throughout the pandemic, and saying, what do you need? What can we do? And is there anything that people watching or community members that you're looking for answers for, or insight or feedback on? What do you want the community to tell you as you start this?
Well, I think the most exciting thing is jump on board. It's going to be an exciting ride. We are in the process of building our diversity, equity, and inclusion committee. I'm happy to report we have identified at least one co-chairs to help lead that effort. Ravi Singh from Burns Engineering is going to be one of those co-chairs, which is awesome. And Ravi and his company are true leaders in this space. Loves the chamber. He serves on the board, serves on the exec committee. So we're excited to have him helping lead that. I think there's, we want to be a yes and organization and not a no but organization. I think too many organizations think about how and all the reasons why they shouldn't do something. And we need to be willing to open our ears and our minds to figure out who are the best partners for moving our organization forward. The other thing is, I think you're going to see us, think a little bit differently on how we do things. Doing something the same way might not always be the best way. We really need to be evaluating, our events, our programs to see if there's a revision or a pivot we need to make to make something even more successful. So, who do we want to bring in as partners to do something? looking at outside organizations to collaborate with. So that whole concept, I think, of working smarter and not harder. As a staff team, we have a limited bandwidth, but leveraging and using our other resources, whether it's volunteers or partners, is going to be key.
So what do you see? What are you most looking forward to with the commencement of your presidency?
I think continuing to work to get our organization to being the strongest voice of business in the community. When there's a business issue, I hope that small business as well as large businesses think and come to the chamber. So whether it's airport related matters, whether it's something with the city of Los Angeles that's hurting our small businesses, or even our local nonprofits. We have so many nonprofits. I think we have 60 nonprofits now in our Chamber of Commerce. So, they have great needs too. And the chamber can be that collaborator and that connector of, and a lot of these larger businesses are looking for great organizations and charities to get involved with as well.
That's exciting. There's so much stuff there's so much potential here. The chamber has always been great for whether it's friendships, networking, creating extended family. It really is more than I imagined it would be. And mind you, I didn't know what to expect when I joined, but that's neither here nor there. So I guess here's my question is, so what do you see that you're going to be bringing to this role? Like what's going to be the change under Chad?
The change under Chad. No
pressure.
I think our first step, obviously the first 30, 60 days, is to also look at some of our processes and see if there's certain things that we can do to increase efficiency in some places. I really want to leverage our existing members to go out there and tell the chamber story to find some new members, people that should be involved with us that maybe aren't quite involved yet or have danced around the idea of getting involved. So, really amplifying our referral opportunities and kind of that bring a friend mentality. I really do feel we can get our membership to 700, with the right strategies. We're about 575 right now. And I think 700 would be a good number to shoot for. I think one of the things that makes our chamber special is that we kind of do have, and I'll credit my previous CEO and Christina saying we're almost like a boutique chamber of commerce that, when they come to our chamber, it is personal. It is, we know their needs, we know their wants, we know their family, we know what makes them tick. I know exactly to the day probably that I met both of you two. And I think things like that are important. People don't want to show up somewhere and just be another number.
No, and I think that's kind of one of the biggest things is knowing that it really is a small town mentality and lifestyle within the metropolis of Los Angeles. There's really no other way to put it. And that's what you guys really do bring to the table is you bring something that lets people know that they do matter. But it's also up to the member to be a member, so right. It has to be a reciprocal relationship. And I think that's the thing that people kind of don't get sometimes is that you're not going to get anything out of it if you don't put something into it.
Right. And I think, chambers of commerce, I think, really they're all unique. You've seen one chamber. So, I think, some people probably have been out and had not great experiences with different chambers of commerce. And I think they get a totally unique and different feel when they come to LAX Coastal.
Personal and welcoming
Supportive
supportive
and trust and respect.
It's true. That is definitely the vibe that at least from my experience we've had and felt like we were part of the team, and it's just kind of like all hands on deck, but it's more than that because you actually, like you're saying, care. And I think a lot of people in networking or business relationships are always business forward, and like the chamber always promotes, it's relationships forward and it's people. And I think that I'm excited to see how you further that because you represent it just as a person.
Well, and I think what also makes our organization different, we have such a darn good group of volunteers from our from our board of directors to our volunteer, like you guys, you're not collecting a paycheck from the Chamber of Commerce. You guys give of your time. You give of your time to do this for our organization, and not all chambers of commerce are able to have a great group of volunteers like we do. So whether that's ambassadors or committee chairs or program leads or board members, parade volunteers. I mean, it is just a kick butt group of people that just care so darn much. And that's I think what set us apart, and that's what has set us apart. So
you're already working on the parade?
Yeah, we're actually, believe it or not, actually been exchanging some emails, and we'll probably have a parade meeting by probably February sometime. So
Awesome.
it's coming. It's
Okay.
coming.
That's awesome.
Wow.
We'll expect to see you there, Joel.
Come on, you got to be involved.
Have you ever been to the parade?
I have not.
Oh, it's the best.
It's early. I don't do mornings. Nobody needs me that early.
It actually doesn't start till 11 o'clock. So
yeah, but then you got to get up. You got to get there. You got to park. You got to get situated. It's a whole thing. Like seriously. Okay. I mean, come on.
You know what?
We'll work on it.
We'll work on it. We got a few months to convince you to be there.
Yeah. Before we forget,
it's rapid fire time.
Bring it.
You know what time it is. Drum roll, please.
You need a budget, Chad. Got to get a budget. Yeah.
Okay, welcome.
I'll get you guys a drum. If you need a drum, we'll get you a drum.
I can't wait. You said it. You heard it here first, people.
It's recorded.
Okay, Chad, you'll have 3 seconds to answer the following questions. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
What Hogwarts house would you be in?
I'm guilty of never reading a Harry Potter book.
But you never.
But haven't you seen a movie?
I think someone is going to probably send me one now for Christmas.
But you haven't even seen the movies?
I know. That's a rough one to start with.
I thought that was an easy one, so I'll move on.
But I am a Lord of the Rings fan.
No, whatever.
Okay. Anyway,
7 books.
Are you a better cook or baker?
You know what? Barbecuer or baker? I wouldn't say I'm a good cook.
What's your favorite thing to barbecue?
Tri-tip.
Meat.
And smoking tri-tip, not grilling tri-tip.
Like the process, from what I hear. And if you could only listen to one genre of music, what would it be?
You know, I'm really into Hawaiian reggae right now. It makes you feel like you're in Hawaii or something. So.
And we know that you're an artist. What is your favorite piece of art that you have ever created?
Favorite piece of art I've ever created. For my final show in college, I did this big wall installation. It was probably like 250 prints, and it went across the wall, and it was kind of mirrored some of my time living in Venice, Italy, which I was nice enough to have that opportunity at the tail end of college.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
So, and it never quite happened. Maybe just I always thought I'd make a good Navy SEAL, but not so much. So, but I salute all of our branches of military. It is a tough job, but I thought being a Navy SEAL would be like the coolest job ever.
Love it. Little Chad. How cute. Would you rather live on a houseboat or in a treehouse?
Treehouse, even though I do love the water.
And would you rather have teleportation or super strength?
Teleportation, for sure.
I love that. And if you could pick up one skill immediately, what would it be?
That's a good question. I wish I knew always what my wife was thinking.
I like it. And last question, what is a fun fact about yourself?
Fun fact about myself. It's the first thing I could think of. When I was 7 years old, I got to ride on the Goodyear blimp.
Ooh.
And that was kind of a cool thing. My dad was like the 100,000th customer to walk through a tire store one time, and he gave his free blimp ride to his son, and I got to go on the Goodyear blimp when I was like 7. So that was kind of I to this day I remember it. It was such a cool experience.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Good job, Chad.
Thanks,
Well
guys.
done.
Applause. You made it through.
And people are probably saying, how does that guy never read Harry Potter?
And really, a Navy SEAL? Really?
I'm surprised by these answers, but yeah, the Harry Potter thing, I feel like we might get some comments on that.
So
I'm still on the Navy SEAL. Like, were you just watching G.I. Joe or A-Team? Like, what were you watching thinking, I can do that?
I don't know, maybe too many, movies as a kid. It was just so intriguing. They'd paratrooper in, and they land in the water, and then they sneak up on the beach, and just thought it was so cool. But
I cannot picture this.
obviously I don't fit the mold for a Navy SEAL. So
Well, that was great. I loved your responses. I feel like everyone, including myself, learned a little extra something.
But you know what? We're going to come full circle. This is what's really cool about the chamber, is that you don't know who you get. And that's what's awesome. Everybody's really cool. And this is all about having fun. And where else can you do that? By joining the chamber. Just gonna say it. That's my less than subtle plug for people.
I love it.
well, and Julie, you're a testament. I mean, we've even provided, that I know you're not local as much anymore, but still a lot of value for your chamber membership, even being a couple hours away. And the challenge I put out to anyone out there that's listening or watching is that if you need us to find ways to bring more value to your chamber membership, reach out to us. We are committed to finding a way to make that happen. We want you to be involved and engaged and as part of our chamber family. It's a great group. It's an exciting time on our side of town. And, we'll work hard to bring that value to your membership experience.
So what's the best way that somebody who's watching right now says, I want to learn more? What's the best way they can do that?
Well, I mean, reach out to us. I mean, all of our emails are Chad at LAX Coastal or Kelly with an I at LAX Coastal. But reach out to us. We'll find ways to get you more involved, hook you in with some of our various programs. We've created a lot of really cool things during the pandemic. Whether it's LAX Coastal Connections, which is Kelly's brainchild, or the small business certification program, which we've helped over 100 small businesses get certified in.
Binge Live.
Yeah, Binge Live. I
Thank
mean,
you.
there's so
Like, we're literally right here, Chad. We're literally right in front of you.
no,
And you didn't lead with it.
but
You thought it
and this is an excellent plug for Binge Live. If you and your business have a great story to tell, reach out to us, because we are building out our Binge Live calendar for the remainder of the year. So we'd love to have you. And small business, large business, all that stuff. Everyone has a story. Everyone has something incredible to share with the rest of the chamber community.
Well, thanks, Chad.
Yeah.
What a great episode. Thanks for being on. We're so excited to see what you do next in your next 5 days.
Well, hopefully I make it a little bit longer than 5 days. So
You will.
Well, thank
All
you
right.
for coming on today, Chad. This was great to talk about the chamber. Congratulations to everything. I mean, I'm really excited to see where things go. I think it's a very exciting time to be a member of the chamber. And yeah, congratulations to you. I think this is fantastic. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, thanks to both of you and for your leadership. And 2022, hopefully the year with a little less COVID.
Yes. Here's to hoping.
And to that, we will say, oh, good day. And thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.